Morning everyone, I am Maria Lourdes Guevara from 42 and I am here to discuss the history background of Japan. Japan was settled about 35,000 years ago by Paleolithic people from the Asian mainland. At the end of the last ice age, about 10,000 years ago, a culture called the Jomon developed. Jomon hunter-gatherers' passion for clothing, wooden houses, and elaborate clay vessels. And Japan started February 11, 660 BC, and discovered in 1543 three Portuguese travelers abroad. A Chinese ship drifted ashore on Tanegashima, a small island near Kyushu. They were the first Europeans to visit Japan. What makes Japan historically unique? Japan's architecture, art, traditions, crafts, and also its worldwide known pop culture, including manga, anime, and video games. It's something that definitely only Japan can offer. No other country contains the same characteristics. What was Japan called before? Historian says the Japanese called their country Yamato in its early history and they began using Nippon around the 7th century. Nippon and Nihon are used as the country's name. Why Japan changed its name? Around the 7th or 8th century, Japan's name changed from Wakuku to Nihon. Some records says that the Japanese envoy to China requested to change the name because he disliked it. Other record says that the Chinese Empress Wu Shi-chan ordered Japan to change its name. Japan's current population, the current population of Japan is 125,555,378 as of Monday, November 21, 2022, based on World Meter elaboration of the latest United Nations data. The Japanese names for Japan are Nippon and Nihon. The archipelago of Japan. Japan is an archipelago or string of islands in the eastern edge of Asia. There are four main islands: Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. There are also nearly 4,000 smaller islands. Japan's nearest mainland neighbors are the Siberian region of Russia in the north and Korea and China further south. Island country laying off the east coast of Asia. It consists of a great string of islands in northeast southwest are the stretches for approximately 1,500 miles through the western North Pacific Ocean. Nearly the entire land area is taken up by the country's four main islands. From the north to south, these are Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. The national capital, Tokyo, in central Honshu, is one of the world's most populous cities.
Good day everyone, my name is Roldan Sistrero and I'm here to discuss the top rated tourist attraction in Japan. Number 1. Tokyo. Tokyo is the most famous tourist spot in Japan. Being the capital of the country, Tokyo is one of the country's premier hubs for entertainment, shoppings, culture, and cuisine. While it boasts some of the country's most vibrant spots, you can also immerse in Japan's culture through the temples, shrines, and gardens in Tokyo. Tokyo tourist attractions. Number 1. Tokyo Disneyland. Number 2. Sky Tree. Number 3. Disney Sea. Number 4. Imperial Palace. Number 5. Imperial East Garden. Number 2. Kyoto. Another famous place in Japan is Kyoto, which has the highest concentration of culture treasures in Japan. This is a perfect place for the travelers who wants to get a glimpse of all Japan. It served as Japan's capital and the imperial residence from 794 until 1868. and witnessed some of the worst disaster but stood the test of time. Now, its main attractions include various temples, gardens, and castles, many of which are part of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. To make your trip more fun, make sure to visit the Kyoto tourist spot where listed below. The number one top attraction is the Nijo Castle, Kyoto Imperial Palace, Sento Palace, Philosopher Walk, Fushimi Hinari Tashi Shrine. Number 3. Nara, known for a concentration of some of the oldest and most important temples in Japan. Nara is must-see destination for those interested in the traditional Japanese culture. This tourist destination in Japan is also popular of stunning park and hundreds of deers. The top attraction is the Nara Park, Tajara Temple, Ishiwin Garden, Kasuga Tasha, and Ninja Museum of Igaryu. And last is Hokkaido. While Hokkaido is the least developed of Japan's four main islands, it remains on very travelers' radar who wants to get closer to nature. Because of Hokkaido's unspoiled nature, many outdoor lovers including skiers, snowboarders, hikers, cyclists, and campers visit here. During winter, its weather is harsh with lots of snowfall, below zero temperature, and frozen seas, while in summer it doesn't get as hot and humid as the other part of Japan. Don't miss that Japan tourist attraction if you want a memorable trip. Top attraction is the Ashiyama Zoo, Lake Toya, Farm Tomita.
Here are the top 10 famous food in Japan. The first one is sushi. Sushi is a roast served on rice seasoned lightly with vinegar. It's in the variety of flowers and texture like tangy, creamy yune and plum, juicy amebe or sweet shrimp. Second is ramen or egg noodles in a salt broth. It is Japan's favorite late-night meals. It's also the perfect example if an imported dish. There are four major soup styles: tonkotsu or pork bone, miso, soy sauce, and salt. Third is unagi. Unagi is a river eel, usually grilled over charcoal and lacquered with a sweet barbecue sauce. According to folklore, unagi is the ideal antidote to the heat and humidity of Japan's stultifying summers. It is a delicacy evocative of old Japan, and most restaurants that specialize in eel have a wonderful traditional approach. 4 is tempura. Lightly and fully tempura is Japan's contribution to the worlds of deep fried foods. Or through it probably originated with Portuguese traders. The butter-coated seafoods and vegetables are traditionally fried in sesame oil and served with either a tiny pool of salt or a dish of soy sauce-flavored broth, spiked with grated radish for dipping. 5 is kaiseki. Kaiseki is Japan's root cuisine. It originated centuries ago alongside the tea ceremony in Kyoto, and Kyoto remains the home of kaiseki. There's no menu, just a procession of small courses, meticulously arranged on exquisite crockery. Only fresh ingredients are used, and each dish is designed to evoke the current season. 6 is suba. Suba, long thin buckwheat noodles, have long been a staple of Japanese cuisine, particularly in the mountainous regions where hardy buckwheat grows better than rice. The noodles are served in either a hot, soy sauce-flavored broth or at a room temperature on a bamboo mat with broth on the side for dipping. 7 is shabu-shabu. Is the Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound of the thin slices of beef or pork being swished around with chopstick in bubbling broth. It's a decadent dish with platters of marbled meat brought to the table for diners to cook themselves. It takes only a moment, one mouthful at a time. 9 is okonomiyaki. Literally grilled as you like. Okonomiyaki is Japanese comfort food at its best and a clear violation of typical refined image of Japanese foods. It's a savory pancake filled with any number of things, but usually cabbage and pork, and topped with fish flakes, dried seaweeds, mayonnaise, and the Worcester-style sauce. 9 is tonkatsu. Tonkatsu breaded and deep-fried pork cutlet dates to the late 19th century when Japan threw open its door to Western influence. The ingredients and attention to detail are thoroughly Japanese. Tonkatsu, especially when it's kurubata, pork slice full from Fukushima, is melt in your mouth tender, served with a side of miso soup and mountain of shredded cabbage. The last one is yakitori. A cold beer and a few skewers of yakitori charcoal grilled chicken is an evening ritual for many of Japan's weekday warriors. Nearly every part of the chicken is on the menu, all grilled to perfection.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashmira Mao, and let us proceed to the next topic, which is famous in Japan. Famous in Japan are also known as well-known in Japan. So first up is Mount Fuji. Standing at 3,776 meters, Mount Fuji is Japan's famous icon. Mount Fuji isn't just the tallest mountain in Japan. It is in fact an active stratovolcano that last erupted in 1707. During the Edo period, it comprised three successive volcanoes: Komitake, Kofuji, or also known as Old Fuji, and Shin Fuji, which is mean New Fuji. This is a popular hiking spot during the climbing season of July to September. These are four routes to summit the mountain. The most popular of them is Yoshida Trail, which require about 6 hours of ascent. So, second is cherry blossom. We all know about cherry blossom. It is about a tree that bloom colorful pink petal. So, to say that Japan is famous for cherry blossom trees will be understatement. Even spring, the cherry blossom season in Japan attract visitors for its sakura flower, whose fleeting beauty is a symbol of the season changing. Sitting beneath the cherry blossom for a picnic is a leisure pastime and an age-old tradition for Japanese people. Often, you will see crowd gathering in a place where the flower bloom aplenty, such as Ueno Park, Meguro River, and Shinjuku Gyon in Tokyo. So, let us proceed to the next one, which is samurai and ninjas. We all know about a little bit about samurai and ninjas. Samurai are warrior who uses swords called katana, and ninja is about assassination. The perfect example for the ninjas are the anime Naruto, if you ever watch it. So, both the same samurai and ninjas are iconic figures from Japan, but they are definitely not the same. The samurai were warriors that belonged to the highest social ranking in Japan, but the samurai class was abolished in 1868. When in combat, they followed the Bushido Code, an ancient code of ethics. So, ninja, on the other hand, were more like secret assassins. Unlike the samurai, they were part of much lower class in Japanese society. They specialized in Espuji, deception, surprise attack, and ninjutsu, a Japanese style of martial art. While there aren't any samurai and ninja left in Japan, you can still learn a lot from them and experience a bit of the past. Edo Wonderland is an example of this. So let us proceed to the next one, which is sumo wrestling. So we all know about sumo wrestling. It is about two fat people who is competing around the ring. So sumo wrestling in Japan. Many historians believe that sumo wrestling began as an ancient Shinto ritual. Today, it is the national sport of Japan. Physical strength plays an important role in this famous sport, where a professional sumo wrestler must force their opponent off of the ring, or make them touch the floor with a part of their body, that isn't the sole of their feet. To do this, the wrestler will push, grapple, or shove their opponent down with sheer force. So let us proceed to the next, which is Japanese car. Some of you may know the brand or may not know. So here are the Japanese car that is popular here in the world. So first up is Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Mazda, Honda, and Subaru are some of the famous car brands in the world. So next up is Shinkansen bullet trains. So operated by Japan Railway or GR, the Shinkansen is a railway network of high-speed train with 9 lines connecting to the major city of Japan. Featuring a sleek design and a nose shape, the Shinkansen bullet train carry passenger in the different direction around Japan, running up to 320 km an hour. So, the next is anime and manga. So, speaking of the geek culture, we can't ignore one of Japan's greatest contribution to global entertainment, anime and manga. First off, anime is a term that describes Japanese animation, while manga refers to Japanese comic or graphic novel. Both are among the biggest reason people visit in Japan because they have iconic figure and statues that are big enough to admire. So you have your classic anime series of the 90s, such as Sailor Moon, Cowboy Bebop, Slam Dunk, Neon Genesis Evangelion, or Pokemon, Dragon Balls, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Mobile Suit Gundam, which have cultivated strong international following and launched popular franchises. Meanwhile, other successful titles like One Piece, Naruto, and Full Metal Alchemist have gained wide mainstream in appeal. So, which is why people have been visiting Japan was also because of this.
Konnichiwa, minasan. My name is Christine Heidi Obon. I will be reporting about the Japanese religion and tradition. The Japanese concept of religion differs significantly from that of Western culture. Spiritual and worship are highly eclectic rites and practices often associated with well-being. Worldly benefits are primarily concerned while doctrines and beliefs gain minor attention. Religious affiliation is an alien notion. Although the vast majority of Japanese citizens follow Shinto, only some 3% identify as Shinto in survey because the term is understood to imply membership of organized Shinto sects. Some identify as without religion, Mushukyo, yet this does not signify rejection or apathy towards faith. The Mushukyo is specify identity which is used mostly to affirm regular, normal, religious while rejecting affiliation with the distinct movement perceived as foreign or extreme. As you may all know, the Japanese adopted the word Shinto, way of gods, originally as Shindo, from the written Chinese Shendao, combining two kanji Shin, meaning spirit or kami, and Tu, meaning a philosophical path or study, from the Chinese word Dao. The oldest recorded usage of the word Shinto dates from the second half of the 6th century. Kami are defined in English as spirits, essence, gods, referring to the energy-generating phenomena. Since the Japanese language does not distinguish between singular and plural, kami refers to a divinity or sacred essence that manifests in multiple forms. Rocks, trees, rivers, animals, places, and even people can be said to possess the nature of kami. Kami and people are not separate. They exist within the same world and share its interrelated complexity. Now, I will be reporting about the Japanese tradition that the Japanese have. There are many types of Japanese tradition and culture that you experience in Japan. One typical aspect of Japanese culture that you will see often is bowing. The Japanese bow to say hello or welcome, to say goodbye or come again, to say thank you, or to say grace before a meal, to pray at a shrine. You'll probably be bowed at least once a day while in Japan. You don't have to bow back, but giving back a little bob of your head is proper etiquette and will show that you see or you hear them. The thing that you will hear a lot is the word irashaimase, which means welcome. The store or restaurant staff will say this every time a person comes in. It's the norm in Japan, so don't be surprised when they say, or according to the type of store, shout it out together at you. There are also Japanese cultural tradition that you can experience and enjoy together with the local people. There are mostly seasonal events that can be enjoyed anywhere in Japan. Here are the 5 traditions that you should know while in Japan. Um, the Bon, short for Obon festival with Bon, dances held during this period. It's a lively festival held at temples within a community. With music and dancing, a lot of people, especially the women, wear summer kimonos called yukata. There's a stage built in the middle of a large empty space of the people beating the drums and the lead dancer are up in on the stage. And everyone else dances in a circle around the stage. All the dances are simply and repetitive so anyone can join in just by copying the people around them. Camel festivals are another fun and exciting Japanese tradition that the kids can enjoy too. Japanese fireworks are some of the most elaborate and colorful in the world. They develop new types of fireworks every year, and the fireworks festival are a summer tradition from long ago. This is an event where you can enjoy wearing a yukata too. There are fireworks held almost every weekend from the year of July to the end of August, and thousands of people gathered at this festival. Number 3. On New Year's morning, it's tradition to eat a dish called osechi. It's like a large family lunch box packed full of food which are said to bring good fortune in long life, prosperity, etc. It's actually quite beautiful to look at too. We also eat a soup called ozuni with a piece of mochi or a rice cake in it. In more traditional family, it's also customary to drink a sip of otoso, a New Year's spice sake, said to drive out bad luck and bring good fortune. And there is a special greeting for New Year. We say akamashite odemeto gozaimasu, which means Happy New Year. Children also receive little paper envelope with allowance in them from relatives. So it's a happy time for them as well.
So, today I will discuss the etiquette custom manner in Japan. So, first is avoid staring or pointing at others. Japan isn't the only country with this kind of rule, but directly pointing a finger at people is considered very rude. Also, Japanese people are not accustomed to looking anyone in the eye for more than a short period of time. So, if you are talking to someone, breaking eye contact occasionally is actually considered polite, as it helps the other person feel more comfortable. So next is do not smoke on the street. Smoking in non-designated areas and tossing cigarettes butts on the street are not just bad manners. You might actually be fined for such behavior, depending on the local laws. There are designated smoking area all over major cities which are free to use anytime. Next is don't make noise in public places. Please avoid being too loud in public places. Talking to your friends, laughing, and joking around is perfectly alright, but unnecessarily raising your voice or yelling can draw negative attention and is regarded as a nuisance. Always take off your shoes when entering someone's home. This is standard Japanese etiquette. A Japanese home will always have slippers for guests to wear, so you don't have to worry about getting your socks dirty. Next is in Japan, people greet each other by bowing. Bowing is also used to thank, apologize, make a request, or ask someone a favor. So next is always keep to the right side of the road. Most Japanese are taught from school or at a very young age to walk on the right side of the road with no sidewalk. The main reason is because car drives on the left, so you can see them coming if you walk on the right. Second to the last is don't walk while eating. So, and lastly, make sure to clean up or carry your trash with you. That's all.